everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Today I'm here to respond to Allan and his top 10 good guys. As you may or may not remember, we've done the bad boys and the bad girls in the last couple weeks. Well, today we're going to do the good guys, and it's the guys. So, in response to Allan's top 10 challenge video for this week, I have made one of my own. Now, Allan, of course, is good at doing the first appearances and things like that because, well, quite simply, he's got a very extensive collection and he actively searches for a character's first appearance, first cover appearance, etc., etc. I, unfortunately, am not like that. I just like characters. And the characters that I tend to like are all tens of thousands of dollars, or in some cases a million, for their first appearances and cover appearances. So I've decided I'm going to go the easy route on the good guys here, and just go with covers of characters that I think are cool, good guy characters that I like, and here we go. These are in no particular order, and unlike the last week, I actually have a mix of companies this time. This here is Daredevil number 32. I think it's a cool cover for the good guy Daredevil. I just came across this was a cover buy for me in the first place, and therefore it was kind of a cool one to get. Sticking with Marvel, this is one of the coolest covers I have of Thor. Thor being attacked by a bunch of animal men creatures. It just shows him in the middle of a fight, and I think that of course says Thor to the T. Next up is a different kind of good guy. All right. I pulled out Return of the Jedi number 1 because the good guy I'm referring to on this cover is Luke Skywalker, and this was the best cover shot of Luke I have. Next up is a real cool shot of Batman. This is Batman and the Outsiders 40. It is also an homage to the original Batman and the Outsiders 1, where Batman is pointing behind him at a bunch of heroes and telling the other heroes off. So this is not only a great shot of Batman, it's also an homage cover, and I like homage covers. Next up, we have the Shining Knight on his steed. Now, this is a picture of the 7 Soldiers of Victory, but I picked this one because the Shining Knight there in the middle, where on his horse, is a great visual focus on this case. I like the Shining Knight. Him and Green Arrow are probably my favorite ones from this group, and but there's no other cover that the Shining Knight looks so good on like that one. Next up is the Fly Annual 1, which is a good shot of the Fly. The Fly is a very underrated good guy. Those that have seen me know that I have a soft spot for Impact Comics. I've done videos on a video on this where I covered the Fly for the most part, but still all of the Impact characters are pretty cool. The Fly, though, is probably the most famous of them. Next up, I chose this guy as a representative of one of the best groups that I like very much. This is Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Here he is in, and this is what I'm talking about. Alan Scott was on the cover of his first appearance, which was All American 16, which currently markets about $95,000. So there was no way I would have a copy of that. But the character, I've always thought that Flash and Green Lantern were the true heart and souls of the Justice Society. Hawkman is a big part of it, but he's not the heart and soul like a Jay Garrick or an Alan Scott. So I picked Alan Scott as a representative of the JSA. This is the coolest picture I've caught of Nightwing in a while. This actually came out the day, the week of this recording. It's just a great shot of Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson, again, either way, his first appearance in Nightwing is a cover appearance, as is his first appearance as Robin. But I don't have either. But I think Nightwing is just one of the best good guys there is out there. Next up, this is Adventure Comics 467. You can take your pick because there are two great shots here. There's Plastic Man and there is Starman. And this Starman in particular is his act. Hey, look. One with his first appearance. This Starman is making his first appearance in this book. I just realized that. So I do have one that qualifies under Allan's extra rule. Now this Starman is not like the other one, Ted Knight, or the one we know from the Legion of Superheroes, and formerly Starboy. This one is an alien prince who has to become Starman, because the way the royal family works in this area is that the king or queen, in this case it's his sister the queen, has to kill off the rest of the royal family, any potential siblings, in order to preserve the throne. And in this case, he became Starman to hide his identity. So everyone thinks that the prince is dead, but in reality, he's still alive and kicking as Starman. So yeah, that one is actually a first appearance. And the last one, the one I saved for last, because although I generally don't do everything in order, this is my number one super guy. And it's not Hong Kong Phooey. It is Superman. The hardest part was finding a really cool cover of him flying out. And I had just about given up when I remembered this book. I hadn't read it yet, so it wasn't with the rest. This is the Radio Shack TRS People number 3. And it's such a good picture of Superman flying up into the sky that I decided to use this as my Superman cover. Yes, it still has the label on it, but what can I do about it? No, I mean, change the bag, obviously. So, those are this week's top 10 good guys. I went with characters more than I went with covers, because some of them have better covers, but they weren't by themselves as much. And I really wanted to get solo shots as much as possible. It was okay if they're fighting bad guys, but I didn't want other heroes on the cover as much as possible. But that Shining Knight one was just too cool to not include. Anyway, if you've liked what you've seen, please like, comment, and subscribe down there. If you want to do this yourself, please make a video and tag the Comic Collector Geek, and would put the hashtag Friday Comic Challenge. Because the Comic Collector Geek will see your video if you tag him, and he'll watch it. And of course, I would like you to tag my video if possible too, because I am always interested in what people think about the top 10 books, because I love looking at books and I love looking at covers. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Thanks, everybody.